Sharing.
Welcome to West Coast Wednesday here on Prospectors Radio with Kathleen Biffle, Rich Cooley, Scott Swiftwater Tony, Indiana Gold Hunter, Dennis Dayton, and your host, Tim Grimes. We hope you enjoy the show, and thanks again for listening.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another West Coast Wednesday right here on Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes, and joining me tonight, as always, we got Kathleen and Shad Biffle. The Wandering Buffaloes are here. Rich Cooley.
Indiana Gold Hunter, Dennis Dayton.
What am I hearing?
I don't know.
Somebody pulled up their YouTube is why. It wasn't us.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube.
Sure.
Back to another West Coast Wednesday right here. All right, and Scott Swiftwater Tony.
Hey, it wasn't me.
What's going on?
It wasn't me.
I don't know what happened there. What just happened?
I don't know.
I think there was an echo.
It was playing through the show, wasn't it?
It's something like that because I'm on Facebook. I'm not even on YouTube.
Weird.
I don't know,
Everything.
I blame Scott.
The conspiracy.
No, Scott.
I was signing into Spreaker, so I know it wasn't me.
Right. It's strange. I don't know.
Well, happy Wednesday.
Happy.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
And how many people are joining us tonight? Because we do have the vice presidential debate, which I kind of wanted to see, but I'm okay.
Dude, don't you got a fancy TV? You can record that stuff.
No,
We don't have cable.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you ain't. You can
it'll
just
be
replay.
all over the Facebook, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It'll be on Rumble. It'll be on BoobTube. It'll be everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere.
How many people have joined us so far?
1 million.
10 million subscribers.
No.
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot in YouTube yet. You know what?
All right.
They're watching the debate.
That's what's going on.
That's what I think.
Should we watch it and just give highlights during the show?
Oh, that's like,
Heck,
We could
No.
do like commentary.
heck no. Man, baloney.
No. People are so sick of politics. Right about now, I think it's like we're just ready for something to happen.
right.
That's
If you
how I
can't
feel.
tell the difference between the ones trying to help us and one's been freaking around for a year, you're an idiot. So I'm just going to say that. Just get it over with. I'm out.
Now.
But I found some great gold today.
Where?
Oh,
Did
did
you?
you? Nice.
At the
Yes,
pond?
I did. I posted a picture on the Facebook, but it was really funny because I was sitting there and I was talking to Ringo and he was looking at me like, yeah, maybe. I was like, all right, let's go check it out.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, you know what? I did everywhere down on my claim I've been is where you predictably would dig gold.
Right.
And I'm predictably not finding enough of it. So I did yesterday. I worked pretty much, I don't know, till almost 1 o'clock, ran several buckets, come home for the clean out and got 2 flakes. Let's
Nice.
just say I had some choice words in the old backyard and I wasn't really happy about it. So went
how
down.
does Rango like prospecting?
He keeps walking around. He's all right.
So he's staying close and
Oh yeah. Like I said, I
Aw.
control the water. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
huh.
He
That's
drinks out of the same cooler I do. Just tip it up for him. Here you go.
Aw.
But you found more than 2 flakes, right?
Yeah, I actually, like I said, I started riding up the creek and I went and checked out my 3rd claim, looked at it real good. There's a couple tributaries that come in. One looks pretty okay. The other one's like, yeah, there's not going to be much anything because there's not a lot of debris. It's just big rock. And then I went around on the backside of my claim 2 and claim 1. And this is no joke, guys. I've been in Arizona a long time and I've seen a couple deer like up north around Prescott, but I come around the corner and there is a freaking 4x4 mule deer with a freaking spread. I mean, I couldn't get my phone out of my pocket fast enough because he was going up the hill after he seen me. But it was the biggest buck I ever seen this close to town in my life.
Nice.
It was a nice muley. I was like, wow, he was by himself, totally by himself. But it was nice, man. It was big. I
So
thought,
you
man,
didn't get on camera or nothing, right?
no, I couldn't. When I started trying to get it on my camera,
It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Is it
well, the
hunting?
sunlight was coming over the mountain, so the camera wouldn't focus in on anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So is it hunting season there?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not.
Gold hunting season.
That's what, yeah, that's gold hunt season to me. But
I
anyway,
would
like I
say
said,
hunting
I
season
I
is
walked
it.
around on those claims and I was looking around and I got a couple places I want to test and run because there's an inside bend that's got a sand bank that's about, oh man, I'm talking 16 feet high at least.
Okay.
So I want to know, I mean, the sand's there, but
Yeah.
what's deeper in that sand that's putting that sand so high? So I wanted to make a test there, and I was thinking to myself, well, I'm not, it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm not dragging all my stuff clear around down on the opposite side of the mountain, clear around the creek to the thing. So anyway, I started to go back out. I was like, well, I'll just do that tomorrow. We'll move over there, and I can run a lot of sand in the day's time, especially through a 151. Turn it up a little bit, open it, and let her go, and run it. But then I got around and I stopped by the bedrock that's really clean on the other side. And I started looking up and they had the tailings piles up there. And I'm like, man, it just doesn't make sense why somebody would pile rocks back on dirt. So I went up there. Sure enough, on the other side of the tailings pile, I didn't see it because I never walked that far over onto that particular juncture of the bedrock. But I went over there and there's like a nice little trail with hand stacked rocks and stuff. I mean, they're hand stacked really nice and everything in there. And I'm like, well, this is really weird. Why is these hand stacked like this? And it doesn't look like anybody's been digging, except for that trench. It's probably about 5 feet wide. It goes up and it's probably about 10 foot long. So I just said for myself, I was like, well, let's test this, Rango. So I took off my bandana, dug into the side of the dirt a little bit with my hands. And as soon as I got in a little bit more, the rocks just kind of got lightly was in there and they were just like, it was fluff sand. So I pulled that out and sure enough, I mean, it was like two grip loads I put in my bandana and come back home and I panned it out and there was freaking 25 colors in the darn thing. And I'm like 25 colors out of 2 handfuls. So that means a pan might have gave me 50 to 60.
Oh.
That's the gold I'm looking for right there.
It is.
So I'm like,
that's a good test.
Yeah. So tomorrow, old Scott's going to be spending an hour and a half moving all this stuff again and getting it over there where I can work. And luckily, I got a tarp because the mountain, where the sun comes up, you're in the morning. That's where the sun hits first is where I'm at because I'm on the high bench now. But it's super high. It's like way high. If you try to jump off into the creek, you break your leg.
Can you get your stuff in your vehicle and put it over there?
Yeah, I can get it over there. I can get it about, I don't know, probably 30 yards from where I want to dig. But like I said, it's funny because there's clean tailing piles just everywhere right there. Like they just dumped the rock. And then, like I said, the tailing pile, some of it's got dirt in it, which I don't understand that because if you ran it through a grizzly, you shouldn't have dirt in the pile. But the rocks are all nice and clean on top, but then there's dirt underneath. And then on the other side, it ain't nothing but the stuff that nobody's dug yet. And that's what I took a sample out of. And I'll tell you, it's probably it's got to be 30 feet wide, about at least a 40-foot stretch. So it's going to be enough to run this year. I'm thinking it's going to keep me quite busy. If I run it the first day and the tests look as good as the pan did, it'll be phenomenal. Like if I run 20 classified buckets, I'm talking there should be a gram or better in it. I mean, easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't chunky, but there's a lot of gold in it.
It adds up.
Yeah,
it does.
Well, it adds up. I mean, that's where gold prices have gone.
Really?
Gold's up $8.05 at $1,887.25.
Okay. Nice.
Back up there. Do you think it'll hit 2,000 with all this election stuff happening?
No.
Yeah.
I think it will.
I'm kind of with Kathleen. I think it'll hit after.
Yeah.
December.
Now here's the thing. Will that be because one, we won't know the results possibly for like
that's why.
And then I'm curious who wins. How will the gold in the market respond to that?
Good point, Shad.
It'll be fun.
But silver's up 53 cents at $23.80. So
almost to 24.
yeah, that's
Sweet.
crazy. I
That's
did
awesome.
play with the silver round today for a little bit. Platinum's up $5.83 at $867.02. So it's starting to go back up again. Palladium's up $10.74 at $2,359.19. So
Right. Okay.
that's pretty big or good movement there.
Mhm.
Now, rhodium. Well,
It's just flat, isn't it?
let me see.
It's unch.
It's yeah, it's gone down from
Today's the
$14,000 to $13,600.
Ooh, that's a good drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big drop for the money movers.
So yeah, it's gone down.
Yeah. I think it'll go back up. It always
I
does.
just wish I would have found some or bought it when it was at $500.
Right. Or less. And
How'd you like some pay dirt bags of rhodium?
Yeah, right.
dang. I'm in. That would be awesome. I like seeing silver up again. It went down, now it's going back up.
Yeah, and silver's such a volatile, precious
Here.
metal too. So
Hmm.
I'm impressed.
And we could go by Scott's thinking about the new iPhones are coming out. Is that why gold prices are going back?
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, they got to have gold for them, guys. Any new computers, any new phones, anything that goes in space, they got to have gold for it.
So I wonder, Scott, like say all the iPhones that they make each year, how much weight of gold do they use total? I wonder.
Ooh.
I had that as a fun.
You know what I mean?
There's quite a bit in those things, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's not really that much.
Dude, there's guys that make a living off of tearing up phones.
You have to
So you think about it. Is it that much?
older phones are better.
Older phones didn't have that much
No,
gold.
they have more in it, just like the older computers do. They have
Well, just remember Kathleen, she shared a few different fun facts, but I remember one, Apple back in 2016 recovered over 2,200 pounds of gold from the broken phone.
from all their old
2,200.
2,200.
And that's just the broken ones that were sitting.
Did you say ounces or pounds?
Pounds.
Pounds.
All right, here you go.
All right, Rich has found it. Thank you, Rich.
There are 0.34 grams of gold in each cell phone, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. That's equivalent of 0.001 troy ounces, worth about $1.82 at today's prices. There are also 16 grams of copper, worth about 12 cents, 0.35 grams of silver, worth 36 cents, and 0.00034 grams of platinum, valued at 2 cents.
In the phone.
In
phone.
That's what it says in the phone.
So
maybe we should create a quickly environmental group, for all phones, all broken old phones. Send it to us.
would take
to help the environment.
Dude, I still collect phones.
So do I.
I've got a whole
bunch to do it.
I've got a whole freaking freezer Ziploc bag full of phone guts.
And old computers, I save all the processors and all that crap. I got it all.
Yeah. That's why I laugh when I find them down on my claim because somebody shot them up. I go over there and I was like, oh, there's some gold, there's some gold, there's some gold.
But you want to have a ton of it to make it worth the
Right.
buy all the chemicals.
Right.
Right.
And then know that, like you said, going through that process, you definitely want to have a lot.
I've seen the videos on YouTube of people doing it. And
it says 7% of gold demand is for electronics.
Okay. 7%. That would be your computers, your phones, your TVs, yeah, all your electronics. So interesting.
Now, mind you, the same guys that are tearing up these cell phones, these are also the same guys that go around to all these garage sales and buy up the little cheap 14-karat gold rings and everything, and then they melt it down into one big lump. And man, by your time, if you get a baseball-sized lump after 2 months, oh my goodness, hello.
Yeah. Well, remember, if it's not grown, it's mined.
That's right.
I read a comment from people today on this article basically stating how that even though some presidential candidates really pushing, to combat climate change and all these companies are doing this, it's still not addressing all the current challenges we have with all the existing stuff around us.
Right.
But yet that burn and use fossil fuels, right?
Mhm.
But it's just like he doesn't realize the computer he's typing on, the phone he's commenting with, all that stuff that had to
They
be mined.
don't.
Well, they use fossil fuels to mine. So how do you think you're going to have electric cars and solar power and wind turbines? You got to mine stuff.
Yeah, you ever seen the hole they got to mine that battery from?
Yeah.
Thank God that ain't an asteroid hole, because we'd lost half the country by now.
Funny.
Now, I would be impressed if they developed a fuel source based off of our when we go to the bathroom.
Give them time. We might never live to see it, but
I just want you to think. I
Then,
want you to-
then you have me there, like, all right.
I want you to think about all these people that make engines that run off of water that they just never hear about no more, and they end up disappearing. What's up with that?
but it's funny. It's funny the way they talk about that, and like you said, Shad, they're using a phone or a computer or an iPad.
Yeah, I mean,
See
that's
who's
what's
in the
funny.
chat room.
It's ironic. It's like, really? You idiots. What, Rich?
Brian Wilder's in the chat room.
Hey, Brian, Mr.
What's up, big guy?
Up there,
Keep
no.
Gold. Hopefully we get to see Brian on TV next year then.
Yeah, I see. He didn't know when we were with him in Chicken, Alaska. For sure. One, that he was definitely going there, and two, if he did go there, if he was going to be part of the actual filming. So that'll be interesting to hear from.
Yeah, well,
He went north to Alaska.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So he'll be diving under the ice, right?
Well, I know I saw one thing he does. His job right now is basically the gold room, cleaning everything up.
Oh, okay.
I seen him tie an anchor.
All I know is the whole time when he was with us mining, he would complain and complain about all this fine gold that he's used to, just buying big old
I
chunks
know.
and picking them up
Yeah.
in his studios. And I'm like, now I'm just thinking like, okay, you hated all the gold or fine gold that was so frustrating. Now you're in Nome getting that beach gold that's under
Yeah.
there.
And he's got to, it has to be clean too.
Clean, yeah.
No black sand crap, none of that. No, it's got to be clean. He's probably that.
Clean.
He's missing just picking up those big pieces of gold.
Sure.
out of his box.
That's a good
Yeah,
problem.
we love you, Brian. We're glad you're doing good.
Yeah. Thanks for
How you doing?
Like I said, with a crew with you and the other guy, man, you guys show it. Man, if you guys are on TV next year, you better show us how it works. No drama crap. Just get that job done. Make yourself look great.
sure Brian will be fine.
They may have to do a lot of bleeps though.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
I'm just saying. He is a great guy. We had a lot of fun in Alaska. It was just a good time, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but he got to stay the whole summer, so
Oh, geez.
amazing.
And now he's back in Alaska again. I think he
Is
should
he right now?
Yeah, he's still up there.
He's up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's there.
Yeah,
now,
he
I think.
came back to New England for just 2 weeks, and then he's
Yeah, he
back.
said he does the cleanups there.
Hopefully he gets to dive in soon. Yeah. That'll be cool. Hopefully we get to see him under
Unless he gets stuck up there in the snow, then he's a had lad after that.
He's an Alaska resident.
Oh, though he did put one thing in perspective in his post that I saw, right? It was about the beer, and he had a case of beer. He loves his Coors Light, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was like $56, right, for a case of
Yeah,
it.
per case.
Wow.
But somebody brought the point, but well, how much do you would spend? It's still cheaper than going to a bar,
Yeah.
which is true.
This is true.
And you don't have to tip then.
That's
Just
right.
that piece.
And you don't have to drive.
Exactly. So yeah, it is expensive in that sense, but yeah, if you put it in perspective, it's
That's
not.
right. In the big picture.
Now I heard milk though is ridiculous. So but
I should be better off buying a cow.
yeah, buy a
Cows in Alaska.
Yeah, the restaurant, he took a picture of the menu that time just for breakfast. It was crazy.
See, that's get a chicken coop and a cow.
And a
Speaking
cow.
of cows, how about them birthdays?
That's right.
Get a
Cows.
cows.
Man, I'm sorry if it's your birthday today and you feel
Yeah, I don't
bad.
know how they got that one. Speaking of cows.
Speaking of cows,
Speaking of a cow. All right. Well, it is October the 7th. We have Bob Alvarez, Brandon Dickerson, Charles Kerr, Chris Diamond, David Casson, Derek Fontaine, Doug Wilson, Eric Eagleston, Gerald Deal, Mark O'Hays, Martin McCosker, Scott Green, and then tomorrow I can see Colin, Dale Strong, Dan, Jay Harris, Joe Cracker, John, and Justin Carr.
happy.
These are your birthdays.
Happy birthday.
Who are we highlighting?
Happy birthday.
I don't know. What name jumped out to you? Were you listening?
Jay Cracker.
It's got to be Jay Cracker, man.
Well, that's tomorrow's.
So we
Okay.
got your birthday, and then we could do.
That's a tomorrow one. So what's a today one?
All right, I'll just click on one
Just
randomly.
click on one.
Okay. Do a random.
Just because we'll be here all night.
Right.
So David Casson, he's from Bethel, Ohio. He prospects for gold, but doesn't belong to any clubs. He found the site through his brother. He mostly just sluices for flower gold.
Who's his brother?
I don't know. But he's been a member since looks like 2014,
Oh wow.
back in December.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Now
Yeah, no doubt.
Jay
So
Cracker.
now we're going to look at Joe Cracker.
Oh,
Spelled with
Joe
J.
Cracker. I thought it was Jay Cracker.
Joe Cracker. There were other J's. There's like 3 J's.
All
Joe Cracker. And it's with the K.
right. Of course it is.
He's from Bradenton, Florida. He pans and detects for gold, doesn't belong to any club, and he found the site through a
That's
link.
Cracker.
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 It's French.
How's it spelled?
There's no C.
How do you know?
It's
How do you
Cracker.
know? You're Asian. You don't know that. Ouch. All right. Well, Cracker has been a member since 2010.
A long time.
Yeah. Very. It's like since almost since the beginning.
He's a 10-year.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday to everybody.
It's been a
Cracker.
decade.
Cracker.
He's been with you for a decade.
Yeah. A decade. That's weird when you say it that way, Kathleen. A decade.
Did you just feel old?
Yes.
It's all scientific, you know.
Sorry.
A decade. Almost, what do they call it? Historic.
You've been in a decade in the making.
Jesus God. All righty. So
Freaking old, man.
feel it. All right. So that's what we'll do. Am I forgetting anything else, Shed? Well,
No.
it's his birthdays. Now we'll take a quick break and come back with Kathleen, I think, right?
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
I reckon.
All right, I reckon too. We'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com. If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
It is time for Dredging Up the News with Kathleen Biffle. Mining news from around the globe, metal detecting, dredging, entertainment news, and fun facts as well. Here's Kathleen.
All right. Well, before she gets into her thing, we're going to real quick just talk about the local events of interest, so that way she can be uninterrupted this week.
All right.
I have one thing. I'm doing like well, I'll talk about it after.
You just interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Real quick, looking at goldprospectorspace.com, October Indiana Gold Prospectors outing happening in Kirkland, Indiana. They're also having, looks like even a metal detecting hunt too there. So that's pretty cool. And then a moonlight metal detector hunt.
Oh,
Ooh, sounds spooky.
That sounds cool.
Spooky.
Spooky. All right. Now, October 17th through the 18th in Dahlonega, Georgia, it's Gold Rush Days. It's time for the thousands to come out to celebrate Dahloneg's 1828 discovery of gold. They'll have over 300 art and craft exhibitors and food vendors that set up around the public square in the historic district to support this event. It's one of the top events in that area of the country. You can visit more information at goldrushdaysfestival.com.
Very cool.
Nice.
Now, October 17th, it's the Arizona Association of Gold Prospectors Club Gold Dig. This is happening out in the Wickenburg, Morristown, Arizona area. They're going out as a group to prospect on one of the claims and exchange information on where gold's being found, so every participating member can benefit from overall knowledge of the day's work. Unlike the commercial common digs that are sponsored by AAGP and the Pater Mining Company, this Gold Club Gold Dig allows members to participate in an exploratory search of one of the club's claims to help facilitate future gold recovery by participating members. All equipment will be furnished by each participating member, so be sure to bring out your favorite dry or wet processing equipment. That sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
And it's smart. I think.
Wait a minute. What was the name of that again?
What's that?
What was the name of it again?
It's the Arizona Association of Gold Prospectors Club Gold Dig.
think I seen that on my Facebook events. But if I see that, I don't want to announce it because I don't know if it's private or nothing like that. So I never bring it to the radio station. But yeah, I think that's the same one that I seen.
You do have to be a member.
Yeah.
But if you visit their website, it'll give you all the information about becoming one.
Oh,
That's,
I think when we move out there, perhaps we will.
I think it's kind of smart. It's like, Scott, here you are with Manny and your dog Rango, and you got
Right.
3 claims that you're digging test holes, having to just scour, and you're limited to how much time in that
You're
day
one
each day,
person,
one
right.
person.
Yep.
What if you got a group just for one day only? They could come out and just kind of poke some holes and help you pinpoint it, be your little prospectors for you.
yeah.
Aye, but if somebody finds me Lucky Charms, what's to stop them from coming back, eh?
You just chain Rango up out there and Manny. That'd be
Right.
But I don't
No,
know,
I
that sounds like a fun day out, really. Just to
That would be cool.
I thought about doing that, but you'd have to be you'd have to be pretty rough to go out on the claims and camp or something like that, because you got to ride all the way up the creek, and which there is one spot there you could put like 4, 5, 6 tents, in the sand and make a little circle, and stuff like that. But
We
Kids?
slept out in the elements.
All you got to do is throw a cot out.
I am.
She's so proud
well,
of
caught
that.
out.
Yeah. Kathleen,
There's cats as big as me walking around out
That's
there.
it.
You
It was a
crazy?
cat.
Kathleen and Shad did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't near a darn wash. They weren't near a creek. They were clear up on the
We
flatland.
were in the wash. We were on the bench, high bench. Anyways, I got one more event.
That's it.
All right, this is October 20th. It's a 5-day event in Stanton, Arizona. It's the 2020 Diggers Dirt Party. That's right. Sponsored by the LDMA, the Lost Dutchman Mining Association. It's held at their gold camp in Stanton, Arizona. It's a 5-day common dig. The dirt party participants will be working for their gold split at the end of the outing. All gold recovered during the operation, of course, is split between the participants. So harder you work, the more gold maybe you pull and material you'll run and find gold, and bigger payday. But you'll get a vial with a picker or two as a thank you from the LDMA, as well as a black sand dirt bag that has your split of the gold recovered. So
Yeah. Okay.
well, that's pretty
Good.
cool. That sounds like fun.
Fun event.
But now I'll turn it over and get out of the way to Kathleen.
All right.
And I forgot to get his picture, so
Yeah.
you see that behind me?
Exposed.
It says exposed.
Or expose.
Exposed. Yeah.
So tonight I didn't have a lot of news, but I did come across a pretty cool article, and it covers one of the subjects that we've been talking about a lot. It's expose time. We're gonna talk about Forrest Finn.
Oh.
Even after his treasure's been found and he's passed away, there's still a lot of noise surrounding him. As we know, Forrest Finn was an eccentric millionaire. He liked to engage with those seeking his hoard, but left more questions than answers. So this article I came across was written by Rachel Mabe. She's a journalist, and it was published in the Guardian. So she set out to find answers to those questions, and she did post this article in the Guardian. This article explores stuff that I had no idea, but I don't even know. I mean, it sounds like she did some research, and I was able to fact check
Uh-oh. You fact-checked
a couple things. So very interesting. Tonight's fun fact will be an expose. This is
All right.
different.
I'm in.
In 2010, his self-published memoir contained clues to a treasure, as we all know. And the treasure hunt took place in the Rocky Mountains. He buried a chest full of items from his antiquities collection. This included jewelry, jade carvings, and obviously gold coins, and it was deemed to be worth $1 million to $3 million. Fenn died, as we know, of natural causes this year. In an email sent to The Guardian just days before his death, he wrote that he thought more than 500,000 people were looking for the treasure collectively.
Okay. Did you say 500,000?
500,000 people.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt that number, actually.
Yeah.
Through the years, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to think of it now, I mean, it just seemed like all at once. But if you think like over 10 years, I think it was 10 years,
Right.
that's quite a bit.
Well,
And,
think of how many Hanyaks has looked for the lost Dutchman's mine in the last 10 years.
oh, right.
And then and then this guy, he's old, so the trail to that treasure's got to be a little bit easier than the other one.
Well, anyway, over 500,000 people searched for the treasure, and we know that 5 have died in the process. Fenn refused to call the treasure hunt off, however. He was quoted by saying, "If someone drowns in the swimming pool, we shouldn't drain the pool. We should just teach people to swim." So let's dive into a chain of recent events as well. Some unknown tidbits, who he was. And I'll start with treasure hunter Reed Randall. He came from Houston. He went to Colorado like 10 times between 2019 and 2020. He was certain he had found clues that led to a spot outside of town, but pinpointing the exact location proved difficult. Well, one evening late in May, he finally saw a tree glowing at sunset, which matched the final clue in one of Fenn's poems. So he was, convinced that he had found it, and he did see a sandy patch where it was just big enough to hold a treasure chest. So he began to shovel, thinking that he was going to come across it. And after a few hours, Randall eventually realized his hole was way too deep for an old man to have dug. So, and if the treasure wasn't there, he decided that it just couldn't be anywhere else. And he emailed a photo of what he had dug to Fenn. And he said, "I know your secret," implying that the hunt had been a scam all along. Well, then on June 6th, like a month later, Fenn announced that a man from the East found his chest. In a short statement posted on a fan's website, Fenn wrote that it had been buried under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains. 10 days later, he posted pictures allegedly sent to him by the man who found it. Fenn said he would not reveal his name to protect the finder. So Reed Randall, he was saying that he found the timing of this announcement kind of suspicious. Just 1 week after his email, that's when the announcement came that someone found it. So he's claiming that it's a hoax, and evidently a lot of other people believe that it's a hoax as well. So this is kind of gives you a little bit about that side of it, which I had no idea it was this many people, but this is just a few of the stories.
Well, what's really funny is because Finn's dead, the guy still has the treasure. So was it a hoax?
We know though. Yeah, we have evidence.
No proof.
Yeah, there's no proof yet.
Exactly.
Well, I thought they showed pictures and everything of it.
Yeah, a close-up picture of some of allegedly the treasure. How do you know?
Allegedly, whatever.
Well, a few paid attention to when he first published his memoir, but it didn't kick off until 2012. There was a featured article in Newsweek, and it actually presented his methods as sketchy, but also profitable. So then this article featured him. Soon Fenn showed up on the Today Show. He was even in the pages of United's In-Flight magazine. Facebook groups, blogs, and YouTube channels were devoted to the hunt, and that just exploded. So then, uh, in addition to that, Fenn has received like thousands of emails, and they say he replies to every single one. Uh, treasure hunters soon started getting arrested. As we know, others put themselves in very dangerous situations, and others have perished. Randy Belew's, I think Belew's body was found along the Rio Grande almost 7 months after he was missing in January of 2016. Jeff Murphy, he fell 500 feet in Yellowstone in 2017. Paris Wallace's body was found also along the Rio Grande. Eric Ashby went over the side of a raft and drowned in 2017. Michael Wayne Sexton died in March after he and a friend who survived went into the Colorado wilderness without any, the proper clothing. They didn't have enough provision.
Idiots.
I know. And the pair had been rescued before in a similar situation.
Oh my God.
Just a month before, actually. So in 2017, New Mexico State Police just begged Forrest Fenn just to please call off this search because of the danger. Well, a little bit about Forrest Fenn. Oh, his head got cut off. I don't even know how that happened. It looked fine on when I was saving it, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's a young picture of Forrest Fenn.
Okay.
He grew up in Texas as a middle child, and I guess back then he was even a trickster. He often escaped down. He would escape class by going down a fire escape. He was also very resourceful when he was young. He would make marbles by hand and he would sell them. There was something too ordinary, though, about his father, because his father was actually a dedicated school principal. Both Fenn and his brother Skippy, they were really rebellious, and they just had a sense of adventure. Although his father touched many lives as an educator, he was forgotten by the world until Fenn did write about him in his memoirs. Fenn wrote about him, "We are victims of our tiny environment. We are victims of our tiny environment," he wrote, wishing for a bigger life for himself. So then the treasure hunt, he decided, would be the project by which he could be remembered. Fenn retired from the Air Force in 1970. After 20 years of flying, The Thrill of Chase was published. Fenn says that his wife and two daughters used $12,000 retirement to move to Santa Fe and build what's known as Fenn Galleries. So this was a block away from the famous art gallery destination of Canyon Road. In fact, Fenn had bought into an existing antique trading business with $25,000 in cash and $100,000 in items from his own collection of Native American crafts and bronzes. So the question arose, how does this military man, son of a school principal, be able to amass a fortune of greater than $100,000? So Newsweek, again, Tony DeCopel detailed Fenn's grave robbing and looting tendencies, which kind of was aided by the fact that he could fly a plane anywhere for pleasure. So he wrote an article in Newsweek and basically just questioning, how does this guy get so many antiques? While serving in the Air Force, Fenn was alleged to take ancient jars from Pompeii. This is what people are saying. And in Libya. He took spears from the Sahara, and he said he told the writer of this article that he was thrown out of Pompeii 3 times.
Wow.
However, when contacted by The Guardian before his death, Fenn wrote in an email that it was actually more complicated than what was published. He said he was caught climbing into an almost completely excavated room 3 times, but was allowed to keep the pottery shard that he found there. Of those trips, Fenn wrote, all of us brought back souvenirs, but I did not collect any jars or spears. So while living in Arizona, Fenn explored native ruins with 2 friends, and they were whether I guess it's not really, it's kind of sketchy on
They were cave
whether or
diggers.
not it's legal to take items discovered at ancient sites, but it is complicated, and but I guess it just depends on where you are. But but in any case, he ended up being by the late 1980s. Fenn was rich enough to purchase the Lázaro Pueblo, and this is 30 miles south of Santa Fe. As the owner of the ruins, Fenn could play an archaeologist as much as he wanted to, because it was private property, right? Because he bought it. But there was a condition: he was not allowed to disturb any graves. In 1990, the State Historic Preservation Division directly found a human arm bone on top of a pile of artifacts on Fenn's property. Of course, Fenn sued the state for trespassing, and the case was later dismissed. When contacted, Fenn wrote that he treated human remains with care, and he's pretty good at identifying human bones. But he said that, you know, the people were trespassing, and they came across what he thought was animal bones, but it ended up being like phalanges.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Angie's.
Phalanges.
Phalanges. That's what the article said.
Phalanges.
All right. In 2009, Fenn ran into legal trouble yet again. The FBI and the Bureau of Land Management raided Fenn's house as part of a multi-year investigation into a ring of illegal diggers and traders in the Four Corners area, and that's where New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and Utah meet. They seized a handful of artifacts from Fenn. They arrested 23 people, 3 of whom killed themselves, and Fenn was actually never charged. And then a year later, Fenn published his memoir. In it, he explains that his love for the turquoise bracelet that you see a picture behind me was included in the chest and tied to its history. An amateur explorer named Richard Weatherville, his name was Weatherhill. I'm sorry, Richard Weatherill. Fenn said that he had a Navajo artisan make the bracelet with beads that he had excavated from a ruin in 1898. Well, Weatherill sold it to a railroad hotel magnate whose descendants lost it to Fenn in a game of pool. And that happened in 1965. So he obtained this ancient bracelet. But the story doesn't really go into to state where the beads were found. I guess it was in the Mesa Verde cliffs in the dwellings in southern Colorado. So that they said that these were actually made by the ancestral Pueblans who abandoned their homes because of the drought. So the history is in there, and kind of sketchy, I guess, from where that bracelet came from.
Gotcha.
But so this next part, this is where it gets kind of scandalous.
Scandalous?
I would say scandalous.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a picture of Forrest Fenn in his galleries. So evidently, Forrest Fenn was a little rascal. Sandy Olson, that's the name that the article used to protect her, whatever. You know,
identity?
Right.
Are you trying to say
She
identity?
wanted to be anonymous.
Right.
So she had first heard about Fenn's treasure in 2018 while undergoing some cancer treatments. So she thought that she wanted to do something exciting and that this would keep her busy, and it did. Like every other searcher, as they're called, she eventually emailed Fenn to ask about the treasure. Soon, Fenn and Susan were emailing almost daily, exchanging messages about life and the treasure. In July 2019, Fenn asked her to visit him in Santa Fe. She agreed. And I guess she wrote, because she kept her emails, I'm not sure it will be worth your while, or he wrote, sorry. I'm not sure it will be worth your while. Under it, I am just a plain old person. What do we have for each other, and how much are we willing to give? So I guess they went back and forth in this exchange, and it got kind of flirtatious. And I won't read it line for line, but he did, he did ask her for a picture.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess he wanted a naked picture.
Okay.
She sent him a photo, waist up with a red bikini top. So the exchanges got kind of, crazy. I won't go into that. But when she visited, she was relieved to find other people at his house, because she was a little nervous. And he told them stories and asked, what do you want to know about the treasure? So that day, she pretty much struck up a friendship with Fenn, and she thought she was going to get closer to the treasure.
Sure.
But she was wrong. He kept asking her for photos. And she was so afraid that she was, if she didn't comply, that he would keep her from the treasure somehow. But she ended up saying that she wasn't going to send any more photos. Eventually, he stopped talking to her, saying that he was busy. Soon she learned she wasn't alone, because he did this to other people, evidently. Another person, Mindy Fauzi, I took this off her Instagram, and that's her with Forrest Fenn. Back then, she was 40 years old, and she sent her narrative to his fan club president guy, and he posted it to his blog. Fenn contacted Fauzi and invited her to email him. So, of course, she felt special, just like Olsen did. He flew her and her son to see him, and said he didn't like all the attention that Mindy was getting from the men on her blogs. I guess he got jealous. So for Christmas, he asked for nude photos. She said she did not send him a nude photo. She actually sent him some kind of craft she made. And then, and then he just didn't talk to her. So she finally, asked him in an email. He did respond. She goes, how'd you like the gift? And he goes, well, I didn't see any photos.
He was a rascal.
Yeah. So Mindy decided that people needed to know about this. Not exactly that people needed to know what kind of person he was, but more that these close relationships meant that the integrity of the chase could be compromised. So she ended up posting screenshots of their emails on her website, and people ended up attacking her in return, saying that she used her sexuality for clues, which ruined the chase in the process. I guess there were threads on different forums that surfaced that, trashed her, and she evidently received hate mail and death threats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it doesn't end there. Sarah Jane Woodall, she at the time had a YouTube adventure channel and a nude modeling business under the name Wonder Hussy.
Okay.
Go figure.
Yeah, right.
And I did look it up, and it does exist. Anywho, she posted a video detailing plans to go look for the treasure with her sister. Well, Fenn saw that and reached out to her, invited her to visit him at his house in Santa Fe. She and her sister had only planned on searching in New Mexico, but Fenn mentioned that West Yellowstone he mentioned West Yellowstone so much that day that it kind of felt like he was giving them a hint. So they decided to extend their trip. He gave them books, arrowheads, and asked them if they needed any gas money. And then on their way to Yellowstone, they stopped and soaked in a hot springs that Fenn went to every summer as a kid. And when they sent him a photo, he wrote back, "Now, girls, you know you're not supposed to wear bikini tops." And they laughed it off. So he was a rascal. Of course, in the end, Forrest denied that in an email to the Guardian. Says he's aware of the several fake emails that say he did that, but this actually is a photo of Mindy visiting. So I don't know. So one thing remains after all of this: seekers are still absolutely committed to their craft. Treasure hunters, as we call them. Many of the Facebook groups devoted to Fenn's search have turned their attention to other hunts, such as the series announced that I featured on one of our articles by Johnny Perry, the retired jeweler in Michigan who started a hunt. Right. Fenn inspired him to hide $1 million worth of treasure around the state of Michigan in a series of hunts. So that, I think that's still going on. Participants have to pay access to get clues to that hunt. In August, $50 tickets. In August, the $50 tickets to the first treasure hunt, which is worth about $5,000, sold out. So Fenn at least gave his participants a chance of winning big. They say he gave $1 million of his own treasure to an average person. At times, some people would spend 40 hours a week on hunting for the treasure. And it goes on. And even now, searchers are convinced that it was found. But then you've got those people who, like Randall explains, if you've been wise and found the blaze, which the clue, and he referred to it as a tree that glowed in the sunset. He goes, in the end, Randall believes that Fenn made the whole thing up just to get back at the FBI and the BLM for the raid. He thinks Fenn tricked people into traipsing around on public land, causing all this damage, digging up things, and obviously needing to be rescued, and unfortunately, in some cases, death. And Randall says, well, think about it. The raid was in 2009, and then the book comes out a year later. Mm-hmm. So Fenn's death doesn't change things for Randall. He already said goodbye to Fenn when he went to go dig in that Colorado wilderness area and saw nothing when he was 100% sure that he had the
yeah, but there's always one guy that's like, I know where it's at. If I don't find it, it's all fake.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, the timing of it all is very suspect.
It is suspect.
And here's my thing. Okay. The guy, the person, the individual who found it back east, right? Why isn't there better pictures of, I'm sure you documented your own journey. I'm sure you took pictures of the area where it was dug up and found.
Shoot, why haven't
you shared that? Especially now that Finn's dead. Why wouldn't you share that and go public so people can see at least, okay, fine, you don't want to identify yourself, whatever.
Right.
Well, does he have to pay taxes on it?
Allegedly, you could.
Allegedly, if he tells somebody, but
yeah, I mean, technically you could, but off the value, which whatever. But still, leak some pictures out.
Something. Yeah.
Because then you can compare it. Is the pictures of where he's found it, is it in line with the clues? And then I want to, granted, there'll be a lot of other knuckleheads go, I was right there. It wasn't there. But still, I just don't believe it because all this stuff did happen very sudden. I mean, Fenn was getting multiple lawsuits, threatened, all this stuff. And then bam, all of a sudden in the middle of the pandemic, boom, it's been found. Weeks later, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of weird.
It is. The timing is just, I mean, because When I first started doing these news stories, I brushed upon Forrest Fenn's treasure 3 or 4 years ago,
Mhm.
and I never imagined it would end like this. And
Yeah, but you got to think about it. I think he knew he was on his way out.
Oh, sure.
And if really, I wouldn't have cared to just let people keep looking for it the rest of my life. You
well,
would,
I
you,
guess with
I
all
mean,
the
really, in history, though, you would never die. People would always continue to look for that
they're
treasure.
totally gonna remember this.
Well, think about how much money did Finn make from his book and all these clues doing this, right? He made a
Right.
fortune out of it.
Yep.
Yes, he did. So
I don't know. You be the judge.
All I know is I've been on
I'm
eBay.
impartial,
I haven't
honestly.
seen anything listed for sale on eBay from it.
no treasures.
And what he said, $1 million to $3 million it was worth.
Well, I think they said initially it was worth $1 million, but in today's value is like 2 million.
Right.
And it's
Is the value.
antiquities. It's only worth as much as somebody's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's gold coins that were worth something.
Oh, there
but
was chunks of gold. There was silver bars, gold
yeah.
bars.
Oh, well, I don't know. You
Joe
be the judge.
Blooms.
The
Some,
blooms.
I still think there should be photos.
I
Somewhere.
honestly
Yeah.
think about it. Out of all the craziness that we see, unless it's hush hush and the guy's documented it and doing a deal with the TV.
Yeah, maybe he's
show.
doing a TV
Maybe
show.
that's what's going on. I don't know.
I can see that.
And then they'll draw it out for like 10 seasons. And
I-
then you find it at the
I
very
still
end.
think that would have leaked out though too.
Well, yeah, honestly, it would have.
Everything leaked.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody leaks now. Nobody keeps their damn mouth shut anymore.
Right.
Nobody. There's no such thing anymore as operational security or anything. There's no secrets.
No. It's just,
Somebody would have talked, and then it's just an anonymous man back east.
yeah. But there at least be something, give us something.
I guess
Nope.
maybe.
Something. Show us, like Shad said, where you found it. And all
It's
the
a mystery, Scooby Doo. That's all I can say.
clues line up. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and then with all the deaths, that he was probably like getting heat from, just like, please just stop this nonsense because it will keep going on and on.
Well, he was being threatened by tons of people
Yeah.
to stop it.
Right.
Either say it or tell us where it is to get it. Just end it. Be done.
Yeah, just get it over.
So, a lot of stuff was coming to a head for him, I think. Granted, he ended up dying anyway, but I don't know. The timing's suspect.
Yeah, it's weird that it was found
It is.
during a pandemic.
But that was an interesting article. There was actually more to it. I did cover a lot of it, but she did her research. So I'm kind of impartial. Like, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like, I'm sure there was, maybe it started out as a little game and then it just got out of hand.
Well, like I said, whoever found whatever he's saying was a treasure, that guy's got, because Finn's dead.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
So if it was out there or not, doesn't make a difference, because there's one person that says, "Oh, I got the treasure. I don't care."
Is there though?
I don't know.
Is there that one person?
Yeah.
Well, who would claim there's not? If you claimed it, somebody knows who you are. You can't just say, "Okay,
Somebody
everybody,
knows. And
yeah, somebody found it. Yeah, he lives over in the East Coast. I'll see you later. Check you later. Bye." That's not
I'm
gonna
sorry.
I'm out.
I'm sorry. More would have been leaked. Why was it that Finn released images he received? Right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, sure.
So
He
it was
had
so,
him.
the information was so controlled by Forrest Finn. Right.
Yeah, but you guys, you said the government was in on it, wanting to stop. Don't you think the government
Oh,
knows
yeah,
that somebody found it?
I get that too, that argument. And yeah, you'd want to be quiet or at least whatever. I get it. You know, taxes on it.
Right.
Yeah.
If the IRS, which they would come after you because that's what they do. But I don't know. Still, though, I think more information will come. The IRS will be hunting, and they would have found out by now too who this.
Yeah.
So it's done. It's a nationally known treasure that was out there for the taking. Allegedly.
Well, I look at it like this: the old man put it in the hills, and that's just, to me, that's just gold in the hills. So if you find it, it's just like prospecting.
That's the way I see it. You shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Well, technically, you could have the IRS come after you if for finding gold out of the ground, because it can still be considered under the tax laws as income.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well,
So that's why
well,
we
back in the
don't
Depression, it was illegal to
Yeah.
hoard gold,
And
so you
during
couldn't even keep gold.
the 40s during World War II, you weren't allowed
Yep.
to have it. So yeah, I mean,
Buddy,
technically,
if I found gold bars, it'd be up against a grinder.
well, no, it doesn't even matter. Raw gold, you find it
Yeah,
technically,
so-
it could come to you for income if they had the resources. So
Right.
I mean, that's why we always throw ours back so it grows.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
we just take pictures and it's like catch and release.
Right. It is.
Right?
It's
Catch
good.
and release.
It is.
We don't keep it.
No,
We
catch
don't
and
hoard it.
release.
Yeah.
That's like me when I show pictures on social media. That's the crappy clean outs.
Do you put it back, Scott?
Do what?
Do you throw it back?
Yeah, I'm gonna dig all that time to throw it back. What idiot would ask that question?
I'm asking you that.
The IRS is watching or listening. Yes.
I never thought when I started this that I would have to actually lock up the gold that I prospected. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that we actually we have our safety deposit box thingy, and we keep all of our stuff like Scrooge McDuck. Just kidding.
I think thanks to a
Throw it all back. We don't keep it.
you throw it back. You don't ever
Yes.
keep it. I've seen you throw it back. So you'll pan it down. You'll take your pictures and toss it back in.
It's all for pictures. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh,
After that,
course.
it's worthless.
Hey, there's times where I pan it, seen like 10 to 15 flakes, and go, whooshing. I'm like, I don't care.
Do that with it all. See.
But I will never ever forget that very first little speck that I found just panning. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I'll never forget that feeling.
The one that hooked you
Obviously,
in.
that's what got me hooked.
That's the one that got you, right? After that, you were doomed.
Yep.
Crazy. Well, that was an interesting story.
I thought it was something a little different. I'll get back to the news next week, but I was just going to touch upon that, but then like the article is just really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. I like stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't know any of that.
I didn't know any of that. either.
The man was a crook, a thief, a grave robber,
A dirty
a dirty old man. You know what?
Well, I mean, come on.
Okay, the dirty old man I can let go. That's normal.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all the other stuff that he's doing,
Like,
man.
yeah.
And then people around him all go to prison and he gets away from it.
And kill themselves.
Yeah, people kill themselves.
Yeah. That's kind of weird too.
I
And
don't know. Like I said, that man.
I
He
don't know.
suicided himself.
that ain't right. More will probably surface later on.
Yep. Well, I will report it if I see it.
Yeah, please do.
'Cause it's been like I kind of feel like I've evolved on the news show with Forrest Finn's treasure.
Uh-huh.
And, talking about it, and a lot of those folks who perished, I remember reporting on that, and it all happened like after 2016. Like,
Yeah, but like I said, the guy went to so much trouble, and man, he's written in books and stuff like that. And if I was dying, and he knows he was dying. He knows.
Oh yeah, he knew he was on it. Well, he's in
Okay.
his 90s.
Now, if I did all that, why didn't I say, do you know what? I'm going down in history, bitches. I'm not telling nobody nothing. I'm going to keep that
I
treasure.
know. I personally,
2050, they're still going to be digging.
well, see, you still got a group of people that say it's real and it really wasn't found. He just said that
this is
because he
going to
was
be on
dying.
Unsolved
So
Mysteries.
there's still people probably right now out there looking for this.
Probably.
Guarantee it.
Unsolved Mysteries right here.
You got 3 camps. 1, it was found. 2, it was all a hoax. 3, it's still out there.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 groups of people. Well, there's probably a 4th that says I don't care, but it's a real small.
And the 5th group that was, he said, I know I'm dying. I'm going to get my treasure back. So
I know.
my family can have it. Yeah.
Look at this.
And I'll just say somebody found it and post some pictures. Yeah. Done. Right.
Yep.
Easy,
Maybe so,
win-win.
maybe so.
You never know. That's the thing.
Hey, here's a theory. He got his own treasure, or he actually never had it out there. However, he's put, because he's a jokester, it's underneath him, buried in his mausoleum or wherever. So somebody needs to go out, dig up his grave, and rob it like he did to so many other people in civilization.
Oh, that's right.
Steal his treasure that he had buried with. I guarantee it.
Oh,
Treasure buried with him.
And just as a reminder, never listen to any of the cronies from the Go Prospectors Radio.
The views and opinions of
I'm just saying.
that's a good point, though, Shad. You
Think
know?
about it. If he's so obsessed,
Yeah,
he was a grave robber,
yeah. I'm gonna bury it underneath me and see if.
or he at least kept some of his stuff. It was probably in there to be buried with his last wishes.
Yep. See if people put two and two together.
I don't know. Go dig him up and see. Don't believe any of those stories that say he might have been cremated. He's out there. Go dig him up.
oh, geez.
Yep. Mercy, mercy. I like it. All right. I guess on that note, you guys ready to wrap it up? To work?
Yeah, maybe we can catch some of the
Yeah. So we catch
Oh my God, the debates.
of the what, Scott?
The debates.
Debates.
You got Carmilla the clown that's been stupid for years.
Is she good at debating? Is she a
That's what I want to see. I want to see this. This is gonna be a train wreck.
Probably at least be able to hear some things is the one difference, I would think.
The only thing you got to know is she's part of the crew. That should just tell you everything right there.
well, if she was a master debater, I would wonder.
Well, she was a prosecutor in California, a district attorney. So
Oh, California. Imagine that. Somebody in freaking California's in politics. Go bigger.
you may want to end the show.
All right.
I'm out.
On that note,
Go find gold and dig up Forrest Finn.
Yeah. And don't forget to join us. Don't forget to join us Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Until then, we're out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Gold Diggers.
Sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.